This Academy training video will show you all the key features of Quicksign. Quicksign can be accessed by going onto your browser and entering quicksign.paymentsense.com. It is not necessary to enter www. before this web address. Quicksign can be completed offline, although you will need to be online in order to send your application. Clicking here will load a personalized report on your progress. During your starter phase, your progress will be monitored against the number of balloon payments you have received. As you can see here, this seller has 17 lives and needs 3 more live deals to hit the 20 deal mark. Achieving those 20 lives would unlock Balloon 5 and give the seller even more opportunity to earn money. Current incentives are displayed here, whilst you will find any company opportunities and updates at the bottom of the page. If you are a more experienced PaymentSense BDM and you have achieved Champions League status, your personalized report would show your league level and the LTR needed to maintain that level. In this report, after the current incentives, you would find your commission breakdown as it stands at your current level. You will also see how your commission would have been different had you been higher or lower in the Champions League. Below is a breakdown of your deals compared to the average figures for that league level. This gives you a good idea of how you compare with other BDMs within your Champions League status. Finally, you would be able to monitor the bolt-ons you have been selling with a breakdown of your adoption level. On the Quicksign homepage, there is also a link to Mothership. This is handy if you want to check ownership of a merchant before signing them up, or you want to copy and paste their locator ID into your new Quicksign application. Watch the process of logging into Mothership, finding a merchant, taking ownership, and copying and pasting their locator ID across to Quicksign. In order to start a new application, click here. Paste your locator ID into the field. You can also find your merchant by company name, postcode, telephone number, or even by the limited company number. Click Look Up. You will find your merchant. If your merchant is not listed, you can click here. As mentioned earlier, a merchant operating as a limited company can be looked up using the due deal function. In order to help you, you can look up your merchant on Companies House. Go onto Google, type Companies House, and click into the link. Let's demonstrate using Payment Sense. Once you have searched for your merchant, you will find their company number. Copy the company number and paste it directly into your Quicksign application. Click the button Search on Due Deal. You will find your company. Click Select. When your application opens, you will see that various parts of the application have been pre-populated. If we look at the Principal section, there are 3 principals. Principal 1, George Caribbean. Principal 2, Jan Farrens. And Principal 3, Jed Rose. Quicksign has 3 main tabs: Locations, Principals, and Legal Details. Locations is the lengthiest tab as this is made up of 4 additional tabs. Let's start with the offer. Choose your product, whether the merchant is new to cards, switcher, or switcher no statement. The next 3 fields can be filled out using your merchant's existing statement. Find the card turnover on their statement. To work out the average transaction value, or ATV, take the total turnover and divide that by the total number of transactions or items. This merchant's ATV is £26. The next field is asking for the percentage of debit cards compared to credit cards. In order to work this out, identify all of the debit card turnovers, add them all together, divide them by the total turnover, and times this figure by 100. This will give you the percentage. As you can see here, this percentage is 86%. Enter your new rates for your merchant. And choose a minimum monthly service charge. It is possible to charge a setup fee of up to £250. Most BDMs will not choose to do this and input 0 into this field. The next tab on Locations is Products. Here you choose your contract length, your terminal type, the model, quantity, the price you will charge per month. Optional extras include e-top-up for prepaid mobiles, cashback, gratuity, which adds the tipping function, and pre-authorization for ring-fencing money. The third tab of Locations is Bolt-ons. Here you would select the bolt-ons you have added onto your deal and the prices that you have chosen for each bolt-on. This information is pre-populated, so do be sure to go through and deselect any bolt-ons which are not required. The last section of locations is business details. This is a very important part of your application, as it is to do with KYB, Know Your Business. You must click Yes to site visit for every application that you do, as this proves that you have seen the premises and can attest to its validity as a business. Enter the merchant's account details and sort code. It's a good idea to take these from their proof of bank to ensure that all details match up. Quicksign will also validate the bank details on an account number and sort code checker. Where possible, try to capture the landline number for the business. If you enter a mobile phone number, you will be asked to attach a copy of the merchant's mobile phone contract to your application. The trading start date is very important, as this will become the password to the merchant's contract. If the merchant is a sole trader or partnership, enter the year they started trading. If they operate as a limited company, enter the year of registration. Just check this figure on Companies House, as the 2 years must match up. MCC is the merchant category code. If you cannot find the exact industry type, find the closest possible option. The business description is one of the key parts of this section. Before you fill this in, it is a good idea to answer the questions below first, as these are aimed at identifying any high-risk behaviors. Cardholder not present, or CNP, refers to transactions taken over the phone. Ask your merchant if this is required, what percentage of their total transactions this is, the type of payment taken, and whether there are any other unusual transaction types, i.e. subscriptions and guarantees. This section refers to the lead times, or in other words, how long it takes for a customer to receive a product or service. This section must add up to 100%. The annual business turnover includes cash. Ask your merchant for their minimum transaction value and their maximum transaction value. Going back to the business description, this field should capture all the information you have summarized below. What is the business type? Here you should outline the products and services provided. Is there any CNP? And what percentage? What is the CNP for? How is the payment taken? And what is the lead time for this service? Are there any other unusual transactions? Here the maximum transaction value is slightly high. You might want to explain what this is for. To add another location to your application, click here. Click Add Location. Location 2. Location can be used to add another product, for example, if you would like to add a moto to your deal. Location can also be used to add another physical premises. For example, if my merchant had 2 shops he wanted to sign up, I would supply the other details here. The next main tab on Quicksign is Principals. Here you would add all of the principal information. In this case, I am signing up a sole trader, so there is only one principal. The email address is important. Make sure it does not contain anyone's name but the principal. It could also have the business name or a more generic email address. This section is all to do with KYC, or Know Your Customer. After inputting the merchant's address, you will be asked to click here to run Experian Check. If the score which is generated is less than 40, your merchant has failed this soft check and you will be required to supply a copy of their photo ID and a proof of their home address dated within the last 3 months. A score of 40 or above means your merchant has passed KYC and no extra documentation is necessary. As you can see here, this merchant has failed. You will only need to run the Experian check on Principal 1, so do ensure that they are always the signatory. You can add a principal in the same way in which you add a location. Click on Principals. Add Principal, Principal 2. If this merchant was in a partnership, I would add the second partner's details here. The third main tab on Quicksign is Legal Details. This final section is fairly self-explanatory. If you are signing up a limited company, you may need to extract some information from Companies House. You are no longer required to enter the amount of personal investment, so you can state this as 0. In order to validate your application, click on the discrete dash at the top of your screen. Quicksign will highlight any errors in red. Follow the red in order to correct your application. If there are no errors, clicking on the dash will generate your LTR. Once you have rectified any issues with your application, click Confirm at the bottom of your screen. Clicking on Confirm will take you to the summary page. Check the information carefully for spelling mistakes, etc. Here you can see the sign off line function. Please note that this is not a legally binding signature. This can be used in a situation where you need extra commitment from your merchant before sending off their application. When you are happy with your application, click Prepare to Send. Here you will be asked to upload the necessary supporting documentation. Once you have uploaded a document, the button will go green. In order to upload more documents, click on the relevant button, find the document on your device, open it, and upload it onto the system. This document will now have been attached to your application. Do the same for all buttons of the application. Remember that you will need a switcher statement dated within the last 6 months and a proof of bank dated within the last 3 months. Your application is now ready to be sent to your merchant for signing. Click on the Send button. This will automatically take you back to the Quicksign home screen. If you refresh your browser, you will see that the status of your application changes. The contract is now ready to be signed.